Welcome to the 2015 NBA Draft Breakdown for Kelly Oubre, the freshman out of Kansas. 6'7", 205, great NBA body. 7'2", wingspan, 8'6", standing reach. He's just a youngster. 19 years of age, played 21 minutes at Kansas, 9 points, 5 rebounds, and assists, shot 44% and 36% from three. All right, let's give you a little breakdown of his game and get the vision of who he is. He's a left-handed, lanky, small forward. Could probably play the two a little bit here. Has the ball in his hands. Wears number 12. This is against Kentucky. You'll see 3 games, Kentucky, Baylor, and Wichita State. Left-handed dribble, not always in controls. He turns it over right there. You kind of get a grasp of his length on this inbound pass as he's able to make a quick play with it. Here he's working one-on-one, driving. Not an elite athlete. Good tenacity here, but never saw elite athleticism. Never saw him get over the top of the rim. That type of play. Here he finishes with that left hand, working inside the paint. He's fluid. He's usually in control. He'll pick and roll here, cross-court pass. His main game at Kansas was catch and shoot. Bill Self sits his wings on the perimeter, and that's mostly what they do. The question with his shot is how consistent can it be? If you watch it, does it look like it's the same every single time? Has he zeroed it in? As a catch-and-shoot guy, his effective field goal percentage was 54% last year, which is pretty good. He shot 36% from three, but you can see as this video goes on, the more pressure, the better the opponent. It begins to change a little bit. Here's Wichita State in the tournament. That's his smoothest release. He gets a little sideways with that left shoulder forward. It's not clear to me necessarily that he's going to be a great shooter in the pros, and that's really what he's going to have to be. Off the bounce on the collegiate level, he's in control, but his game wasn't great. He shot just 33% off the bounce. As he gets stronger, I think he'll improve here. Here's a nice play. Good show and go. Drive, drew the foul against Baylor. He does have a decent show and go game, and as his three-point shooting game develops, here he is switching over to the left hand. His ball handling skills are basic. His passing skills are, well, they're very rarely on display, shall we say. He had a very low assist rate. Here, good show and go in the lane, in control, just a little short with that shot. But as you see, he's not rising up. He's still on the floor, and this is where I was a little disappointed in athleticism. In the open floor, I just never saw a great play that made me say, wow, and gave me that feeling he was a great NBA player. Not great decision-making with the ball. You saw the turnover there. Here, spinning, turning it over. Wasn't an elite offensive player on the open end. And as I mentioned earlier, very little to see in his passing. His assist rate was low. Here, he got kind of flummoxed and through a very poor pass. Then flip side, later in the year, he kind of creates the passing lane correctly. So maybe you see some growth there. Good rebounder at 6'7", 203. Remember, he doesn't turn 20 until December of his rookie year in the NBA. If you watch him kind of working inside, here he gets a nice rebound, quick outlet pass. Now down low, he comes down the baseline, 50-50 ball, is not strong enough to get it, commits the foul instead. And obviously he's going to become stronger. He'll probably be a 225, 220 NBA player. Here in traffic, using that great reach and wingspan to be able to make a play. Here he just gets pushed out of the way and quits on it. It's a little disappointing. Then tries to come back, gets it knocked away again. So he's not really having that huge impact. There's a good rebound in traffic. Finally here he is guarding the ball, digs down, goes down, and he's got really screens out hard here to keep it for Perry Ellis to pull down. Defensively is where I think scouts are most excited about him. It's an interesting, his height, his standing reach at 8'6", his wingspan at 7'2". This is where I think people are most excited about him. The question a little bit is what kind of impact. He defends well. He relents a lot. He doesn't always have a huge impact on plays. And I would argue, as you'll see at the end of all this, he's got to play a little hard. Here's doing a nice job. This is against Kentucky, against NBA quality players. Far side, drive with the left hand, stop and pop mid-range jumper. That's just Lyles being big time. That's a big-time NBA player right there. Again, this is against NBA guy. Stays in between he and the basket. Does kind of relent, and you'll see that kind of consistently. It's not as though he's holding ground defensively. Here he's trying to hold the post. He gets overplayed, gets beat. But you can see his feet move. You can see at times here he got a bad angle, but he's able to be long enough for cover and grab the rebound. Nice cutoff here defensively on the far side. Now he's back out defending, sliding with the hands. Decent defense there. You can see where this is an area where he could be good. Digs down nicely, gets back to the shooter. Really seems to understand that aspect of the game pretty well. Long arms. You can see it impacting things. And forcing the three. Here gets just beat, and there's not strong enough. Once that guy got the shoulder on him, it was over. And Wichita State was, man, here's another one where he relents. He did not play well in this Wichita State game, was just passive, and you'll see that at the end. Pick and roll defense, there just was not a great deal of pick and roll in the games that I saw, but here he cuts off, gets back to the ball nicely. This time he fights through the ball, stays on his man, forces a step back, does a good job of recovering. And that could be where he ends up being very good. I was impressed generally with his help defense understanding. Here he's in the middle of the lane. His guy's on the far side. He's watching where the ball is. He slides down to that man. Now he comes back out to the shooter. These are, he had a good feel for this. Down low, gets back to the shooter again. Here he is on the near side. Watch him. He'll kind of slides over, cuts off the Willie Cauley-Stein. So he does this well. Here's another one. Digs down, gets back out. This time he didn't get his feet set, and he got beat. So he's not flawless. This was probably where I was a little discouraged. His hustle plays and 50-50 balls. Here he does a nice job coming to the ball against a physical Wichita State, getting it. Here's on the flip side, you can decide whether you think he's at the top, pass goes up, that's his ball. No, it's not. And then this is some of the other stuff. Here he is on the far side. He gets pushed out of bounds. He's just out of the play. So those kind of things, hopefully strength, but also there's a level where I feel like he's got to play a little harder. Here he is on the far left side, loose ball, turnover, and here he just kind of jogs back. They outrun him for a slam dunk. That's in the Big 12 semifinal game. Here it is again. He's in the middle of the floor. I guess he's coming back, but doesn't feel like he's getting back as much as he can. And finally here, again, he's the defender. That's with 4 minutes left, down by 10 in the NCAA tournament game. Kelly Oubre, very long talent, just 19 years of age. A good left-hander. We'll be interested to see where he goes in the draft, projected around 14.